Hey folks, how we doing? It's Dom here, and today I have a really interesting and fun Snowdrop Pincer Manoeuvre deck, which is all about drawing a bunch of cards and then just massively buffing up your Snowdrop and then kind of filtering out to get the right cards in your deck for the situation. Okay, so we're up against Lockdown, which is kind of annoying because we lose our beloved Pincer Manoeuvre, which can be used really well with our kind of Griffin, just to kind of buff that up to a 10 and then play him kind of twice almost and have it be really strong. So we're up against Control Nilfgaard, so probably a lot of our units are going to get messed around with. So our little drummer boy goes off. So we don't really need a Kedwenny Sergeant in hand. And the Ranger isn't very necessary unless we have the Griffin. That's something we only kind of run for like late game plays or, as I said, with the Griffin. Those are pretty much the only two things that we really, need it for. We do have Snowdrop in hand though, which is really nice, as that's just great for filtering out anything that they do to us. Speaking of what they do to us, it's deck manipulation time. Yay! Okay, right, well, if we get down Griffin Witcher straight away, we can start getting a lot of kind of power off that. Or they can just get rid of it. That's something else that we could probably expect to see from Control. This is basically just our way of seeing what they want to do. I don't mind losing this round, but I kind of want to push a few good cards out of them. Or at least kind of get a bit of a feel on what their deck's going to be like now. Because I will admit, I haven't played Gwent in a while because I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk. As you might be able to tell by the card back and the coin. So if you see any like idiotic misplays, I apologise. I am a bit out of it at the moment.
What is it you want?
Neuromancy, yeah, it's pretty much expected these days with decks. Coated weapons, okay. So they're probably setting up for a Colgrim. But I mean, the thing is, them killing that, it's a decent unit to put back on the top of our deck.
Left,
Like, that's actually something we want.
right.
I mean, we don't want the golem that they put on, but we'll gladly take that. Okay, so they're clearly just trying to get a bit of extra power. Not using their tactical advantage yet, so they're probably wanting to play on a bit more. If we get down Reynard now, we can get some like major buffs this turn, and that will kind of like give us the lead, and then sort of put them in a situation where they do need to do some things. Words are hard today. Really gutted that we lose Pincer Manoeuvre, just because it's like 7 bonus points plus we get like a guaranteed really good card. Assassination, yep, going for that more removal style tactic. And we don't really want to give up the round just yet, I'd say. We can easily get a bit more at them. I think maybe an Anna. Oh, the game does not like Anna Stringer. Which does mean we are technically in a winning position here. The reason why I played a lot of buffing units this round is because I don't think like Archgriffin's gonna. Oh, okay, that's a bit of a niche card, but it has worked out really well for them. So I guess we'll just have to pass here. Black Blood is a weird card, I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'd not really run that, but whatever, man. If they want to run it, that's up to them. I mean, the thing is, actually, we now know that they have something like that. So we'll get rid of the Guardian, obviously, and we don't want 2 Sergeants. But if we look at our hand, Snowdrop obviously buffs herself. But Kedwenny Sergeants are only ever real big buff card. The rest of it's more just damaging the opponent or kind of block value. Okay, so they're deciding to push on a bit more this round. So I guess, you know, we can kind of get Griffin Witcher down. And hopefully this time keep them around for a bit longer. See, if they do push all the way now, we can give them Veil. If we can try and get our Neuromancy, which we should be able to because we have Master in hand. So they're going for a Seer. And what? They're going for Cynthia?
Yes. What is it?
No, they took Black Blood. That's actually really good for us. Because we can just avoid buffs other than Snowdrop. So As long as we don't see them draw any, like, big cards this round, well, that should be fine for us. I'm thinking playing Matter here, just to kind of keep us ahead. Although getting rid of the buffs from Sergeant is tempting. Although, no, wait, because we got our Fortress with us, don't we? So we can just go for the Griffin Witcher, which will switch out a card in our hand. Nausicaa Sergeant, that smells like a great boiling oil target for me. So we'll get rid of that. Taking us into the lead, and then we'll ping their Vicavaro Novice again. I'm wondering if it's going to be worth playing Snowdrop this round, to be honest. It depends, because we can't really play our Fortress or our Dandelion until we play Snowdrop. So that's kind of quite important. Neuromancy, okay. Using them both up this round so we can assume they're trying to take it. And what they're going with. Going with Viper Witch Adept, so they clearly want a long round. As that's probably the slowest card they could have chosen. Hopefully we'll be able to kill it. Because, I mean, let's be honest. If they do have a Colgrim in hand, they can get some decent value off it. I mean, they won't be getting, like, ridiculous amounts. But they'll still be getting some. Fringilla? Okay, what'd she actually do? I mean, did quite a bit. It's worth 10 points there. Jeez. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen Fringilla be running a long ass time. You know what, we'll react with Snowdrop to that. We got some really nice draw cards here. Archgriffin and Cadwini Sergeant don't really seem necessary, so, you know, we'll just filter them out. And this does now mean that we can, like, Selective Mutation or Dandelion Poet, just to start really putting on a bit of pressure.
I never err in my predictions.
It does say random, doesn't it? Because that was quite a decent pick from them. I'm not mad, I promise. Right, if we use Dandelion Poet, we can catch up.
Famous last words.
And then what? Ah, that was a bad card, wasn't it? Is Care Seren worth going into? Just we get another draw off it. Go into a Mentor, and then we can kind of filter the Ranger out our hand. Keeping that Drummer Boy. Okay, now next turn we can Neuromancy and get the Fortune Teller to give our Griffin Witcher Veil and then continue to use his ability. That's a big heat wave for them. So we kind of need this really bad. Especially as we forgot to use our dude's ability. Our Griffin Witcher's ability last turn. Just that completely flew over my head. Again, I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk recently, so I might not be the best at card games at the moment. I apologise for that. Really are going to need to go for that Fortune Teller. And then we put her down, slam her down, and then give her that's doomed. Wrong lane. Oh boy. Don't tell me we're going to lose because we put her on the wrong lane. Please. No. And they get rid of a Neuromancy now as well. That's absolutely great. Nice. Well, we know they haven't got Black Blood in hand. So we can get down our Drummer Boy nice and safely. And even if they do, it wouldn't take it for them. Okay, so we did somehow manage to survive that cock-up, I will admit. I mean, it would have been nicer to have Veil on our Griffin Witcher, but we still won easily on points. So, Archgriffin can go. Bloody Baron is very necessary. Because, you know, if they do have Colgrim, they're going to start racking up some points. It's just if they have Effian now. Actually, if they have Effian, it means Baron's got another decent target to go for. Right, I guess if we go for Griffin Witcher Mentor. Or actually maybe Selective Mutation. get another mentor in hand. And to be honest, we might just filter out that first one as well, so we might be able to draw him. To be honest, boiling oil doesn't seem that great. It's interesting that they haven't used their location yet to put a card on top of my deck. I guess they just don't have any real way to steal it from their hand. Right, they're touching up my little kids, so let's get them to stop.
Up the tree you go, lad. Quick now.
We draw another mentor, which we are going to keep because he'll get the adrenaline buff. Although whatever that mentor goes into, we're just probably not going to take it because a 7-point defender is just nice, and Baron is very important in this matchup. That's incredibly good for us to see because that is a brick for them. We're not buffing up any units now, so Black Blood's redundant. That right there is why I wouldn't run it. Or at least I wouldn't put it back in my deck. Van Morlem. And they're putting on the ranged row, which I'd say is more of a misplay because they're not getting the bleed value, while that lock is redundant, because that's not how Defender works. Defender's a status they would have needed to purify it, which they've already used. So, yeah, even if they do have a Colgrim, they've not really played it very well. So they're going for Joachim, which we're going to directly counter with Baron. I mean, they still get a nice 7 on the board, but that's not really... Yeah, we've easily got this one in the bag. Okay, right, well, I guess we'll play down Baron, and we'll win with that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This was just a deck I wanted to try out. If you did enjoy it, I'll leave the code in the description of the video, sorry, and I hope I'll see you next time.